September starts, and with it, the new school year. With more than 70% of adults in the EU now fully vaccinated, and with 2 doses available for children over the age of 12, the situation is in stark contrast to 1 year ago. Still, the impact of the Delta variant and the possibility of new COVID measures is raising concerns among teachers' unions.
About how health and safety measures are being implemented at school. It's important that that is communicated clearly. That was one of the main issues also that, during the pandemic was very difficult to handle when decisions were taken very late. Sometimes decisions were taken on a Friday or on a Sunday evening to be put in place on Monday.
But despite vaccines being widely available, not all teachers have had theirs yet. Unions, however, think that vaccines should not be mandatory.
Vaccination should always be should be voluntary. You shouldn't force vaccinations. It is important to have the offer to vaccinate. And that was one of the main issues also at the beginning, right at the beginning of the crisis. And there was no protection for the teachers at all in that period. And so that's why we were very strong to say it is important that teachers are taken up in this priority group. This is a people's profession.
Data from the EU's Agency for Disease Control shows that only 12.1% of under 18-year-olds have had at least 1 dose, even if only those over 12 years old can get their vaccine. But throughout the EU, the numbers are quite different. In Belgium, 23.6% of teenagers have been jabbed once. Meanwhile, in Bulgaria, the numbers drop to 0.5%. At the start of the summer, the European Medicines Agency approved both Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine for use in children over the age of 12. Not long after, many EU countries started to vaccinate teenagers. Something that could help with the return to school, as the past year has been difficult for both students and teachers.
Students will be struggling because they haven't reached the same level of content as they would usually. And of course for teachers and on the whole, the curriculum that needs to be adapted to this situation, having to pick up pupils from different points.
It's now the second school year that starts with the pandemic looming over it, but its impact will have longer lasting effects on all of the students. Christopher Pitches, Euronews, Brussels.